offer my millions of obeisances to lotus feet of Asmati Guru Pad Padma Nitla Pravishta Jagat Guru Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Maharaj. Then offer obeisances to lotus feet of Tirandi Sannyasi Shishimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Maharaj Ji, Naam Nishta Santa Shri Aniruddhas Prabhu Ji, Samasta Vaishnav. Please accept my humble obeisances. So, today we're beginning the Adi-lila, second chapter, 20th verse. Athava bahunaitena kinyatena tavarjuna vishtabhyaham krishnam ekam shena sthito jagat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, "What more shall I say to you? I live throughout this cosmic manifestation merely by my single plenary portion." So basically here you see that describing his own potencies to Arjuna, the personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna spoke this verse of Bhagavad Gita, 10.42. So Bhagavan is all pervading, he is everywhere. Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham Govindam Adi Purusham Tamam Bhajami Hare Krishna. And Bhagavan is present as Paramatma in the heart of all living entities. And he is also present in all the atoms, electrons, neutrons, protons, understand. So today actually you see that the Prime Minister of Japan was assassinated. So you see that life is so, temporary. Anytime we can die. Anytime death is just waiting for us to pounce upon us. Just like the cat is waiting to pounce upon mouse, the death is waiting for us. So not a single moment should be spent in unnecessary pursuit. You may be the Prime Minister of Japan, the most prosperous nation in the world, but death is waiting for you, lurking here and there. Now, Mr. Shinzo was actually maybe 50, over 50 or even 60, And Vedic culture says that one should renounce at least at the age of 50, not involved in the politics or any social activities, just dedicate to Krishna consciousness, understand? Otherwise, death will come and then even little time left, that is also wasted. So, next verse is Tam imam aham ajam sarit bhayam radhi radhi dishtham atma kaipitanam pratyosam. So actually grandfather Bhishma said, as for the one, as the one sun appears differently situated to different spheres, so also do you, the unborn, appear differently represented as Paramatma in every living being. So like the sun situated to different seers, like the people all over India, they see the sun at the same time. Like people in Bihar, Bengal, China, everywhere they are seeing the sun at the same time. But the sun appears, different to them. So similarly, Paramatma is also in every living being. But when a seer knows himself to be one of your servitors, no longer does he maintain such duality. Thus, I am now able to comprehend your eternal forms, knowing well that Paramatma to be only your plenary portion. So here Bhishma Dev is praying like this. Paramatma is the plenary portion. Sarvasya chaham pratisanni vishtavo. Mattasmutir jnanam apohanam cha. Paramatma is the indwelling super soul. He is present in the heart of all living entities. And he is guiding us from within. So he is an inner guide actually. So this verse from Srimad Bhagavatam was spoken by Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev is actually one of the Mahajans. Prahlad Janako Bhishma Balir Vyasaki Vayam. So he is the grandfather of the Kuru dynasty. Kuru dynasty, you see that was a great dynasty. And he was lying on a bed of arrows at the last stage of his life. Last stage of his life, he was shot by the arrows of Arjuna. All the contaminated blood in his system was gone. And that's why he was able to speak some religious philosophy. Previously, he knew the religious philosophy, but he could not speak it or could not so much practice it because he had eaten the food of Duryodhana and that food was so contaminated that his intellect was very impure. Srila Gurudev says that if someone is of very bad character. Someone has very illicit affairs, this, that, and you sit in the same line with him and take prasadam, the air that is touch the body touches you, you'll lose your bhakti. Means you'll also get the desire for sense gratification. So it is so much dangerous to associate with these non-devotees. What to speak of persons who are not practicing Krishna consciousness and taking food from them. One should not accept food from them. Now, this doesn't apply to the devotees who were previously not devotees, who may have not been devotees and their behavior was not good. But after they have become devotees, they have abandoned all the bad activities like meat eating, gambling, intoxication, illicit sex. And if they are now practicing Krishna consciousness, then we should accept the food from them, no harm. If they are chanting, they are in good standing, we can take food from them. But materialistic persons, those who are not initiated and those who are not practicing Krishna consciousness, it is quite dangerous to accept food from them. Obviously, sometimes we do have, because sometimes we go to the houses where people are not initiated. But if they have faith, then we can offer that food and take it. If they have faith in Krishna. So here, Arjuna, Krishna, and numberless friends, admirers, relatives, and sages had gathered on the scene as Maharaj Yudhishthira took moral and religious instructions from the dying Bhishma. So actually, what Krishna told that, oh, Yudhishthira, the sun is about to set. Then Yudhishthira said to Krishna that, dear Krishna, every day the sun rises on the eastern horizon, it sets on the western horizon. What is the problem? Why you are telling the sun is setting today only? It sets every day. It rises every day. It sets every day. Then Krishna told Yudhishthira that, Maharaj, actually the thing is, I'm not talking about the sun which rises on the eastern horizon and sets on the western horizon. I'm talking about Vishnu, the knowledge, sun-like knowledge. He is radiant with the knowledge, like the sun. So he is very, very intelligent, and he has his own encyclopedia of Vedic knowledge. So take instructions from him. So then he brought actually Yudhishthira to him, and Bhishma then he spoke this verse. While looking at Krishna, he spoke this verse. Just as the one sun is the object of vision of many different persons. So you see that the sun is seen in the sky everywhere. Sun is seen in the sky everywhere. Understand? So like that. So the one partial representation of Lord Krishna who lives in the heart of every living entity, as Paramatma is a variously pursued object. So Paramatma is also situated in everyone's heart. So Gurudev was telling that actually Ekalavya, he's telling the story of Ekalavya. Ekalavya was not a devotee. And he came to Dronacharya to learn the knowledge. And Dronacharya asked him, why you want to learn the art of archery? Then he said, I want to kill Arjuna and Krishna. Then Dronacharya said, forget it. To kill these great personalities like Krishna and Arjuna, why should I teach you the art of archery? So anyway, he made a statue of Dronacharya and learned the art of archery before that statue. So finally, one day they were passing in the jungle and one dog was barking and he shot arrows, Ekalavya, and filled the mouth of the dog with the arrows and he could not bark anymore. So seeing the swiftness of the arrows and his accuracy and all, Dronacharya was stunned. And Dronacharya asked, who has shot the arrows? Come forward. Then Ekalavya came. So, said, whose disciple are you? He said, I am your disciple. How do you know? How did you learn the art of archery from me? I didn't teach you in person. He said, I learned from your statue. I made you a deity and I learned from that. I want to give you some charity because you are supposed to give some dakshina to the Guru. Then he said, what Guru dakshina you need? He said, you take the thumb of your right hand and just cut it and offer to me. Because he didn't want him to kill Arjuna. Otherwise he was too strong if he had the thumb. So he could not shoot arrows properly. But still he tried to kill Krishna even after his cutting off his thumb. And then Krishna killed him by Sudarshan Chakra. Understand? So the whole point is that such disciples who are actually trying to kill devotees, they are not really devotees. They are attacking other devotees. And, if this is going on, then what hope is there actually? We should be very, very careful from so-called personalities. They like Karna also. Karna came to Dronacharya and he told Dronacharya, I want to learn the art of archery. Then Dronacharya said, what is your intention? He said, I want to fight with Arjuna and want to defeat him and maybe kill him. Then Dronacharya said, forget about it. So Arjuna is a great devotee of Krishna. You want to kill a devotee and you want to learn? No, I'm not going to teach you. Then he rejected Karna. Then Karna went to Parshuram. Then Parshuram was taken a vow that he would teach only Brahmanas. So, but he said, I am a Brahmana. He lied to Parshuram. And then Parshuram one day testing him and put his head on the lap of Karna, and one insect came and he was making a hole in drilling a hole in the thigh of Karna. And Parshuram woke up and said, you are not a Brahmana. No Brahman can tolerate so much pain. You must be someone else, some other race. Then he cursed Karna that you will forget all the knowledge of archery which you have learned from me, all the mantras. You will forget them, but not right away. You will forget them when you need them the most. And that's why he needed them against Arjuna, he forgot them. And he could not use his knowledge of the archery which Parshuram had bestowed upon him because of the curse. So Parshuram also very carefully cursed Karna so that he could not kill Arjuna. So we should always try to protect the devotees. There are sometimes, some persons try to harass the innocent devotees. So we should try to protect the devotees, especially new devotees, from such attack on the devotees. We should be very, very careful that our god brothers, god sisters, or anyone, any devotee, new devotee, we should try to save them from attacks of others, especially demons. Understand? So here you see that Bhishma knew the super soul to be a partial expansion of Lord Krishna. See, the super soul as such has no mercy. Super soul is in the heart, he is only witness, he is guiding us, but he actually has no mercy. He doesn't have kindness like a Vaishnava, like Bhagwan. He is not Bhakta Vatsal. So anyways, but that's why this Paramatma is a plenary portion of Krishna. But Krishna is far more powerful than Paramatma and far more merciful than Paramatma. So basically you see that the whole thing is that learn to chant the holy name. Actually, Srila Gurudev was telling that Haridas Thakur. One time what happened, that Haridas Thakur, Gurudev read something, somewhere. That the article Gurudev read was that Haridas Thakur was born in a Brahmin family, but his parents died, so he was adopted by Muslims and he was raised by Muslims. So although he was a Hindu and Brahmin, he had the sanskaras of Muslims. And that's why he's like Muslim. So Gurudev spoke like this in an assembly, in public like this. And Param Gurudev was upset with Gurudev. He said, where did you get this from? Then Gurudev realized that, then he read what Bhakti-Vidanta Thakur said. Then Bhakti-Vidanta Thakur very clearly said that no, he was not born in Brahmin family, he was born in Muslim family only. So Param Gurudev told Gurudev that, please verify your sources before you speak. You should not speak against what Bhakti-Vidanta Thakur has said. And so he corrected Gurudev actually. So the whole point is that, this Gurudev himself is telling this, that we should always speak what Bhakti-Vidanta Thakur is telling. So Srila Gurudev told that Bhajan Rahasya is the book, how to do bhajan. But before that, there is one book called Harinam Chintamani. But not everyone can read Harinam Chintamani. Only those who have taken initiation, who have faith in Guru, they can read Harinam Chintamani. But holy name anyone can chant, and like for example Valmiki. Then Valmiki was actually dacoit by the name Ratnakar. But you see that he attacked Narad Muni and tried to extract even money from Narad Muni. But Narad Muni said, you are killing so many persons, Brahmanas, and all the passers-by and travelers, pedestrians in the jungle, and you are killing so many animals also. Who will take all the sin? Then he asked his family and they didn't accept the sin. the share of the sea. So finally he came to Narad Muni and surrendered to him. Narad Muni said to him that you see that you are eating so many animals, you have killed so many animals, and he sprinkled some water on the head of that Ratnakar dacoit. And that Ratnakar could see in the sky all the animals he had killed with his bow and arrow, waiting to take revenge upon him. With their horns, they were coming and attacking. See that? So these animals also take revenge, understand? And if animals will take revenge upon you, then forget about it. Because, suppose some people kill the bullocks, and but I have seen many times video on YouTube, and one man was standing and the bull, threw him in the sky 5 feet high and fell down. They have so much strength. And if you have slaughtered the bulls, and when you die, then they will attack you after that. Understand? They will punish you. So then he surrendered to Narad Muni, and he told Narad Muni that I have committed many sins. Please save me from the reaction of these sins. Narad Muni said, you should chant Ram, 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 Ram. He could not chant Ram Nam. He was so sinful fellow. Finally, Narad Muni said, he just chant Mara, Mara, Mara. Death, 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 Mara, Mara. He could chant that. And that also delivered him. So the whole point is that, the holy name is so powerful. That's why we have to do chanting. Always should be done loudly. Always try to chant loudly. As much as possible, try to chant loudly. And do Nagar Kirtan or Jungle Kirtan, Home Kirtan, wherever you are, try to do loud Kirtan. Always. Because there are so many blades of grass, trees, reptiles, insects, ants, microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, all of them they can listen. They can hear the holy name. They have no time, no ability to chant, but they can hear, and you can deliver them by chanting the holy name. If someone is an atheistic person, someone is having no sukruti, someone has ill character, they will also hear the holy name, they will benefit. So always try to chant the holy name loudly. This is the instruction of Srila Gurudev. Never, never, and never, and never softly. Always try to chant loudly if possible. Kirtan, understand? So, this is what actually Haridas Thakur told Mahaprabhu. Haridas Thakur, you see that he was getting very popular. So, Ramchandra Khan was very envious of him. And he wanted to vilify him. So, therefore, he sent a prostitute. But he delivered the prostitute. Prostitute became a great devotee by the influence of Haridas Thakur. Then he came to Adi Saptagram, where Raghunath Das Goswami was staying in that village. And there he took association of Yadunandan Acharya. He built another bhajan kutir, Purana Kuti. Purana Kuti means from dry leaves and branches of trees and bamboos. He built one bhajan kutir. He was doing bhajan in Saptagram, Adi Saptagram. Then one time in the assembly, one Brahman challenged Gopal Chapal. He challenged Haridas Thakur that Nam cannot bestow liberation. And Haridas Thakur said that what to speak of the holy name, the semblance of the holy name, the shadow of the holy name can also bestow liberation. Oh, that Brahman said that if the shadow of the holy name can bestow liberation, I'll cut my nose. And if cannot bestow liberation, I will cut your nose. And within no time, all his limbs started melting. His nose, ears, his hands, feet, everything melted. He just was struck with leprosy, with all insects touching and biting his wounds and everything. He was so much, because of he has offended Haridas Thakur. Understand? So you see that, but Mahaprabhu forgave that offender later, apparently. But you see that this is the thing. If anyone will challenge the glories of the holy name, that person will not be spared by Krishna. Krishna will punish that person who doesn't accept the glories of the holy name. Especially Vaishnava Aparad. First offense is not called Guru Aparad. Especially it is called Vaishnava Aparad. We have to be very, very careful. Gurudev has not given us permission to offend anyone, criticize anyone, complain against anyone. Actually, many times we see that devotees, they speak only bad things about someone, but no good qualities of others. They don't see the good qualities. Everyone has some bad qualities, but don't look at them. You should look at the good qualities of others. That is very, very important. Because if you see the bad qualities of the Vaishnavas, we will fall down. If you see the good qualities, all the good qualities of that person will come in us. So we should be very, very careful. So this, so here Srila Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj is telling that Bhishma knew the super soul to be a partial expansion of Lord Krishna. So Vadanti Tattvavidas Tattvam Yat Jnanam Advayam Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagwaniti Shabdate. The same absolute truth is known as Brahma, Paramatma and Bhagwan. But Bhagwan is the superlative, is the manifestation of Godhead. Brahma is also a manifestation of Godhead, but not as high as Paramatma. Paramatma is not as high as Bhagwan. Bhagwan is the highest manifestation. But that Paramatma is also plenary portion of Krishna. So Saita Govinda Saksha Chaitanya Gosai Jivan Istarite Aichetaya Laganai. So that Govinda personally appears as Chaitanya Gosai. So Gurudev was telling in the class today that he was telling that have faith in Mahaprabhu. You must have faith in Mahaprabhu. Generally we go to some temples like ISKCON temple and you see that that is Radha Krishna is given prominence, but Mahaprabhu is generally not there. Or if they have Mahaprabhu, it's keep a small deity. And Radha Krishna very big deities. But in Gaudiya Math, you see that they give the same amount of prominence to Mahaprabhu as much as Radha Krishna. In Gaudiya Math, the deities, they're always, Mahaprabhu is almost the same size as Radha Krishna. So comparable size. Why? Because there must be faith in Mahaprabhu. Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati said that no, we must always worship Mahaprabhu along with Radha Krishna. Never just Radha Krishna. As much as possible, must try to have Mahaprabhu. And also, proportion should also be comparable. Not that Mahaprabhu is too dwarfish and then Radha Krishna is very lofty deity. It's not like that. Gaudiya Math actually see that Mahaprabhu is also very, very tall. Because he is very merciful. So that Govinda, he personally appears as Chaitanya Goswami. He took sannyas. Understand? Now, who wants to take sannyas? Actually, if you have a very pretty wife, teenage girl, 16-year-old, like Miss Universe, who will give her up? But to show the world these are not important. Wife is not important, family life is not important. Bhakti is more important. That's why he did this pastime. He left his teenage wife at a very young age. Like Srila Gurudev also. At a very young age, he left his parents, maybe he was 24-year-old or something, and he joined the mission. Then his parents used to come to him, his mother, father, and they all used to come to Gurudev. And Gurudev actually gave mantra to them. Gurudev gave them mantra. Gurudev used to touch their feet because their mother and father. But they asked mantra and Gurudev gave them Harinam and Gopal mantra to his own mother and father. He also started accepting whatever prasadam they cooked from his relatives, because now they had become devotees. If they were not initiated, then Gurudev could not have taken prasadam from them. Understand? So Gurudev always said that past is gone. A person who has now transformed, I will accept prasad from them. He used to accept prasadam cooked by even Western Matajis like Tungavidya Didi, Vranda Didi, they used to cook for Gurudev. He never used to look their past background. No, now they are rectified. Now they have accepted Krishna consciousness. In the past, they may have done something because of Western birth, but they have now become Vaishnavas. That really matters. What is in the present, what condition they are. If they are following all the rules and regulations of Krishna consciousness, they accepted a bona fide spiritual master, then they should be considered to be, completely purified of the past sins. No sin has left, and they should be accepted as bona fide Vaishnavas. That is what Gurudev was always telling. That Jagannath temple people also, he was telling them that yes, you must accept these Western devotees. Let them have darshan. Gurudev was of staunch opinion. Understand? So, but India actually is so corrupt. The Brahmanas also very, very corrupt. Generally speaking, some Indians they do Ekadashi, and when they are doing Ekadashi, these Brahmanas tell them that you don't have to do Ekadashi all life long. What you do after some Ekadashis, you can just do Udyapan. In Udyapan, they say that you distribute maybe 11 plate, golden plates, 11 this, 11 that, like this. And they try to tell them that abandon Ekadashi. But Gurudev said never and never give up Ekadashi. Ekadashi is a very, very important day. Understand? So, having described Govinda in terms of his Brahman and Paramatma features, now the author of Caitanya Caritamrta advances his argument to prove that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is identical personality. So, he gave the argument that Govinda is Brahma, Govinda is also Paramatma. But now he is actually telling that Govinda is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself is the Govinda. There is no difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Krishna. See Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Rayani. But there is some difference also because you see that Mahaprabhu is far more merciful than Krishna. Understand? Mahaprabhu is far more merciful than Krishna. Because he has that mercy aspect of Radharani. He has taken the complexion of Radharani, that mood of Radharani. So, in the garb of a devotee of Sri Krishna, descended to this mortal world to reclaim the fallen human beings who had misunderstood the personality of Godhead even after the explanation of Bhagavad Gita. Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita, Manmanavo mat bhakto madhya jimam namaskuru. Mahame vechi satyam te pratijane priyosame. Become my devotee, offer your mind to me, become servant of me, offer obeisances to me. All these things he told. But people didn't know how to actually how to serve Krishna. Then Mahaprabhu came and he taught the love of the gopis. What is the love of the gopis? The Gurudev was explaining that Krishna is telling that today I am going. And I will kill Kamsa tomorrow and day after I will come back. In Hindi language, actually day after day is called Parso. But actually Gurudev said that Parso became Barso. Parso means day after tomorrow I will come back. But actually he didn't come back day after tomorrow. He came after so many years. He didn't come back. And what was the condition of the gopis? That was the same mood of Mahaprabhu. He was worshipping Radha Krishna in the mood of separation. Mahaprabhu was meditating on Krishna in the mood of separation. So Mahaprabhu was extremely elevated mood. Understand? And all these moods are present in Hare Krishna mantra also. The mood of separation, mood of meeting, all these moods are present in Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So here, offenders misunderstood this instruction. However, because of their poor fund of knowledge, thus by his causeless, unlimited mercy, Shri Krishna came again as Chaitanya Goswami. So people could not understand Bhagavad Gita, and so many commentaries are written on Bhagavad Gita, many of them Mayavadi commentaries, and they try to misinterpret the message of Bhagavad Gita. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that when I was Krishna and I spoke Bhagavad Gita, they could not understand the meaning of Bhagavad Gita. So let me go and teach them by my personal activities. So all of Mahaprabhu's activities were based on the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. He was always glorifying Krishna, chanting his names, dancing in front of Krishna. All these things our Mahaprabhu was doing. And he showed the world how to dance, how to sing, how to always remember Krishna, how to become mad for Krishna. Mahaprabhu taught us. But he was Krishna himself. So the author of Caitanya Caritamrta most emphatically stresses the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Sri Krishna himself. He is not an expansion of the Prakash or Vilas forms of Krishna. He is the Swayam Rupa Govinda. Means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not an incarnation of Godhead. He is actually Krishna himself. He is actually non-different from Sri Krishna. And Krishna is Swayamrup, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Swayamrup. Apart from the relevant scriptural evidence forwarded by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, there are innumerable statements regarding Lord Chaitanya being the Supreme Lord himself. The following examples may be cited. So he is giving so many examples that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. So basically we should try to study these books of Gurudev. We should try to study the authentic books and not go to Radha Kunda. Many times people go to Radha Kunda, they will become Babaji, or they get fallen in the trap of the Babajis. Understand? And then they knew the line of Bhakti-Vidanta Prabhupada. Guru Nishtha is the backbone of Bhakti. One must have Nishtha for Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj. But actually, see, Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj opened so many temples all over the world. But you see that Srila Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada who empowered Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj. Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Swami Maharaj gave him sannyas and empowered him. And if Bhaktivinoda Thakur would not have come, then Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada would not have come. And if Bhakti-Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada would not have come, then Bhakti-Vedanta Swami Maharaj would also not come. So ultimately speaking, it's all the mercy of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Their mercy only the preaching is happening all over the world now. Understand? So from the Chaitanya Upanishad, Gauraha Sarvatma Mahapurushu, Mahatma, Mahayogi, Trigunatita, Sarva Rupo, Bhaktim Loka Kashyati. Lord Gaura, who is the all-pervading Super Soul. You see that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also the all-pervading Super Soul. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as a great saint and a powerful mystic. He is appearing as a great saint and a powerful mystic who is above the three modes of nature and is the emblem of transcendental activity. He disseminates the cult of devotion throughout the world. Cult actually means the system, the culture, basically. But cult sometimes has a negative connotation, negative meaning also is there. Cult means that sometimes they say, hey, Hare Krishna cult. Because people are scared of religious groups these days, you know. So many times people think that, oh, maybe Hare Krishnas are cult. Basically, there were so many cults in America. So many people were duped. There was one Acharya from India named Rajneesh. He went to America and he did so many scandals, so many problems, amassed so many Rolls Royce and all wrong philosophy he gave to the disciples. And actually, such persons actually spoil the name of spirituality in India. So therefore, if we come to Krishna consciousness, then we are very, very lucky. So from the Shveta Upanishad, Tam Ishwaram Paramam Maheshwaram. Krishna is called Ishvara. Ishwaram is the Supreme Lord. Ishvara Parama Krishna Chidananda Vigraha Anadi Raja Govinda Sarvakaran. He is Maha Ishwaram. Then he is called Tam Devatanam Paramam Cha Daivatam. Among all the demigods, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme. Among all the worshipable deities, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is supreme. Patim Patinam Paramam Parastat Vidama Devam Bhuvanesha Idyam. Bhuvanesha Idyam, you are worshipable for everyone. O Supreme Lord, you are the Supreme Maheshwara. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, he is the Supreme Maheshwara. He is the worshipable deity of all the demigods. All the demigods, they pray to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sadho Pasya Shriman Dratamanajikayir Pranaitam Bhadbir Girvanir Giricha Parameshti Prabhratimi Sa Bhaktivyam Shuddham Nija Vajam Madram Upadisham Sa Chaitanya Kimme Punarapidrisharu Vyasati Padam. So all the demigods, they are worshipping the lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the worshipable Lord. Sunirmalam Imam Praptim Ishano Jyotirabhayam. Supreme Personality of Godhead is Mahaprabhu, who disseminates transcendental enlightenment. Mahaprabhu is why everyone respects Mahaprabhu so much, because he gave the transcendental knowledge. In this world, there is a lack of transcendental knowledge. Like if you travel in India in train, buses, you'll see that so many people don't lack the knowledge. What is the Upastatva, who we should worship? Like many people, they worship Sai Baba. Sai Baba is Bhagwan or something. And they keep a big picture of Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba, Shirdi Sai Baba, and they worship that. It's okay. Because, but those who have knowledge of relationship with Krishna, then they realize that, oh, we have to worship only Radha Krishna. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we have to chant our mantras. We have to chant the holy name which Gurudev has bestowed on me. I should not ignore the mantras. I should not ignore the Mahamantra. Understand? this intelligence will come also. Simply by going on pilgrimage, it will not come. Associating with sadhus. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is Mahaprabhu, who disseminates transcendental enlightenment. Just to be in touch with him is to be in contact with the indestructible Brahma Jyoti. So basically here it is very, very clearly told. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is Mahaprabhu, who disseminates the transcendental enlightenment. Just to be in touch with him is to be in contact with the indestructible Brahma Jyoti. From the Mundaka Upanishad is told, Yada Pashaha Pashyate Rukma Varanam Kartaram Isham Purusham Brahma Yuri. One who sees that golden colored personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Actor, who is source of the Supreme Brahma, is liberated. Basically, he is very, very clearly told that one who sees the golden colored personality of Godhead, the Supreme Lord, the Supreme Actor. Here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is called golden colored Lord. His complexion is like golden color. Actually, Mahaprabhu is so merciful. He has golden complexion, very, very charming Mahaprabhu. He looks very beautiful also. He is the source of the Supreme Brahma, is to be liberated. So basically, he is the source of the Supreme Brahma. Brahma Jyoti is bodily effulgence. From Srimad Bhagavatam, Dheya Sadam Paribhoganam Abhishta Duham Tirthaspadam Shri Virenjinitam Sharanyam Bhaktartiham Prantabala Bhavabhibhutam Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravinda. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of him, the Lord, upon whom one should always meditate. He destroys insults to his devotees. So Bhagavan is Bhakta Vatsal, he doesn't want his devotees to be insulted. He'll make some alternative arrangement for them if they are insulted. He removes the disinterest of his distresses of his devotees and satisfies their desires. This is the job of a devotee actually. He should become shelter of all living entities. Hare Krishna. So, Tattva Sudasya Sresat Raja Lakshmim Dharmishthari Sayadagadharanyam Maya Mrigam Daite Sudhanvadavat Vande Mahapurushati Charanaravinam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the abode of all holy places and the shelter of all sages. He is the everything, all the holy places are in that lotus feet of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is worshipped by Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma. Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma both are worshipping lotus feet. He is the boat of the demigods for crossing the ocean of birth and death. So, he is the boat of the demigods. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the boat of the demigods. And he is worshipable by everyone, by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. So, Tattva Sudasya Sresadam Rajalakshmim Dharmishtari Vasayadgadharanyam Maya Mrigam Dayatipsidaman Vadhavat Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravinda. We offer our respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of the Lord, upon whom we should always meditate. He left his household life, leaving aside his eternal consort, whom even the denizens of heaven adore. He went into the forest to deliver the fallen souls who are into illusion by who are put into illusion by the illusion energy. So Mahaprabhu actually took sannyas to deliver the living entities. He saw the fallen condition of the living entities in India, and he said that let me go and take sannyas and travel all over the length and breadth of India and preach Krishna consciousness. So that's why when Mahaprabhu traveled all over the world, then all the devotees became very attracted to Mahaprabhu's philosophy, Srila Gurudev, like this, and they benefited. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. Pranams. Hare Krishna. Stop here. Vanchata Patra Vishya Kripasam Vicha. Paridanam Bhavanete Vaishnava. Dandat Pranam. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat Pranam, Maharaj. Thank you very much. Maharaj, what page you stopped at?
Actually, this one, there was a verse actually. Prahlad said, "Ittam Nrutiryaga Deva." It was in my version, it is 80, but I don't know what your version will be. Different version I downloaded today. Because my
Okay, I'll ask
desktop.
Ananga Mohan Prabhu. He'll have the screen
I
saved.
will send you that. Ittam Nrutiryaga
Okay.
Deva Dishavatare. This one actually because there is a verse by Prahlad which is talking about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We'll discuss that verse next time. Ittam Nrutiryaga Deva Jashavatare Lokan Vibhavayasi Hansi Jagat Pratipan Dharmam Mahapurushapas Yuganavuttam Channa Kalau Jadaga Tribodha Sattam Ittam Nrutiryaga Deva Jashavatare Lokan Vibhavayasi Hansi Jagat Pratipan Dharmam Mahapurushapas Yuganavuttam Channa Kalau Jadaga Tribodha Sattam. Basically, that verse we'll discuss in elaborately next time. This verse is by Prahlad Maharaj, and Prahlad Maharaj actually spoke this verse explaining the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's incarnation. Understand? Itham Nrutiryaga Deva Jashavatare Lokan Vibhavayasi Hansi Jagat Pratipan Dharmam Mahapurushapas Vuttam Channa Kalau Yadavavat Triyogota Sattvam. My Lord, you kill the enemies of the world in your multifarious incarnations in the families of men, animals, demigods, rishis, aquatics, and so on. So Bhagavan appears as man, as Ramchandra, Parshuram, Bhaman, these are all incarnations. And he appears in the animal kingdom also, because Bhagavan will appear as a boar, sometimes he'll appear as a half lion, half man. Sometimes Bhagavan appears in a haygrave, like a horse also. And then he appears as a Rishi, like Narada Rishi is also incarnation of Bhagavan, Kumar is also incarnation of Bhagavan. He appears as aquatics, like a fish, gigantic fish. So Bhagavan, but anyways, any incarnation he will try to kill the demons, always kills the demons. Thus, you illuminate the world with transcendental knowledge. In the age of Kali, O Mahapurush, you sometimes appear in a covered incarnation. So this is called Channa Avtara. Channa Avtara means you cannot know that this is incarnation of Bhagavan. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, no one could imagine that is Bhagavan. Understand? So Mahaprabhu came very secretly to preach the glories. That's what's called Channa Avtara. Not many people even today know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Bhagavan. They only think Krishna is Bhagavan because Mahaprabhu was the covered incarnation. Understand? In the age of Kali, O Mahapurush, you sometimes appear in a covered incarnation. Therefore, you are known as Triyuga, one who appears in only Triyuga. So Mahaprabhu is telling that Bhagavan is Triyuga. He appears only in 3 millenniums. Means openly will come in Satyuga, Tretayuga, Dwapar-yuga. But in Kali Yuga he will come, but in a hidden manner. He will come secretly. Because that's why it's for Triyuga. So then we'll discuss the fifth point next time. Thank you so much. Any comments, questions? Hare Krishna. Alright, 11th is Ekadashi. Devashayani Ekadashi. Then Chaturmasya will begin in some mathas. And some mathas it will begin on Purnima. But anyway, Chaturmasya is coming, so trying to increase bhajan. We should try to, many devotees they chant like 1 lakh holy name in Chaturmasya. Some people. So try to increase your rounds. Try to chant more Harinam, quality Harinam. And Harinam will bestow everything upon you. And follow Chaturmasya as much as possible. Avoid eggplants. Even I am not very sure how much I can do, but I would like to, if I get the facility, and I would not want to break the Chaturmasya vows. Because Chaturmasya is very dear to Vrata to Bhagavan Shri Krishna. If you execute Chaturmasya, Krishna will be pleased. Understand? So according to time, place and circumstance, try to follow Chaturmasya. And 11th is Ekadashi. That day, the Lord Vithala is worshipped in India. When a lot of people are walking so many miles to reach Pandharpur, they are going on a foot march. That's called Dindi, with dancing, taking tulsi on the head. Oh, they are amazing actually. Varkari devotees, they go like this. So Narendra Modi government is also making very big road for the Wari and all, so that people, pilgrims don't feel any problems. Also the new Chief Minister of Maharashtra, where Pandharpur lies, he told that you should, all the holes, potholes on the street should be filled with, so that Varkaris, the devotees are walking, Varkari means the devotees are walking to Pandharpur, abode of Vittala. They don't fall there and get injured, their vehicles don't get injured, yard or also like that. So government is also worried about the safety of the devotees who are walking. So many, for last 1 month they are walking all the way to Pandharpur. And actually the India has such a heavy caste feeling. I belong to this caste, that caste. But surprisingly in Pandharpur pilgrimage there is no caste feeling. Anyone will sit to anyone next. No one asks what caste you are in. Nothing. So people forget that caste consciousness. This is the beauty of Pandharpur. My friend Jamadagni Prabhu invited me to distribute books. Their last 2-3 times they distributed. But at this time I could not go because I'm in Tirupati. But amazing experience. So death is waiting. Actually, there's one devotee, Jagmohan Prabhu. He also left the world couple days ago. Yesterday, I think he left the world. He went to Jagannath Puri and he was got hurt a little bit, I think, and then he had infection and he left the world. He was an amazing brahmachari, and Jagmohan Prabhu, I want to tell that he was such a great devotee, and he was disciple of Srila Vaman Goswami Maharaj, but he took Shiksha from Srila Gurudev. He was in charge of the rooms in Mathura Matha. Then later on he became in charge of the bookstore in Govardhan. But he always used to chant, and loudly used to chant. And people loved his chanting all the time. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Like this was going on with one single tone. Actually, if you're chanting holy name, no one else can chant japa because you are chanting so loudly. And that is good. So many living entities are benefiting. Suppose someone is chanting next to you all the time, then even if you don't chant, they are still getting purified because the holy name will not only purify the chanter, holy name will also purify the listener also. So, but Jagmohan Prabhu, suddenly he had some infection and then he left the world. But he was from Maharashtra, and once I was traveling on the train, and then Jagmohan Prabhu came to actually give me prasadam with another devotee. So I had his darshan last, I think, couple months ago. And then very simple-hearted devotees. I don't know. I can show you his picture to you. Then I will send you also. I don't know how clear it will be. But I will try to send to the group the photograph of him. It may not be that focusable. Okay, this is Jagmohan Prabhuji. Understand? He was amazing devotee, brahmachari, and he left the world yesterday. So he's one devotee was looking after him. That disciple of Bhakti-Vidanta Maharaj, who lives in Govardhan. So that devotee, Marathi devotee, was looking after this brahmachari. He was actually from very simple family, very humble family, and but he was very excellent devotee. And this is the devotee who took the picture with Jagmohan Prabhu. He said this devotee tried to take care of his health, admitted him to the hospital, but he could not survive because he had so much infection. Then this devotee was crying yesterday. He said, "Oh, Jagmohan Prabhu left." Told him that he was a very glorious, it was very glorious. He ascended to Vaikuntha because or Golok because maybe he'll take birth somewhere where get again Gurudev's association, Bhaktivinoda Thakur's association. I said Vaishnava's death is very glorious because they are not done any sin. They are very dear to Krishna. So the death of Vaishnava living the world is never and never any problem. Vaishnavas living the world is never a problem. So this devotee actually showed me that this Prabhuji had hurt like this, foot like this. He sent me photograph. And then he was admitted, the infection was there, and then he left the world. So this is body is fragile. They were told that don't worry, body is gone, but at least we have done bhajan, we have chanted the holy name. Holy name is very, very important. Understand? So, for example, if you don't take a person's name, so Srila Gurudev was making one point that Vede Ramane Chava Purane Bharate Tatha Adav Madhye Cha Ante Cha Hari Sarvatra Giyate. In Vedas, Puranas, Upanishads, everywhere the name of Krishna is there. And Gurudev was talking about Ramcharitamanas. Ramcharitamanas is the rendition of Ramayana by Sri Goswami Tulsidas. But Gurudev was telling that in Ramayana also, this Tulsi Ramayana or Ramcharitmanasa, he said every single payar or every single Sanskrit stanza, the Hindi stanza, has the name of Ram everywhere. Somewhere you find the name of Ram. So Srila Gurudev was telling that even in Bhagavatam also, the name of Radha is in every single statement. And Srila Gurudev was telling that the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam describes Sri Krishna's very sweet pastimes. But many of these pastimes, they were actually described in the 3rd canto. Kapil Devoti Samvad, many pastimes have been described. Uddhava, Maitre, and all that conversation, and all that. I have not read 3rd canto so much, but Gurudev was telling that in 3rd canto also Krishna's pastimes have been described. And we should try to always remember these pastimes, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, pray to Radha Krishna, and be very happy with bhakti, be absorbed in bhakti. Srila Gurudev was telling that try to do 1 lakh holy name, 64 rounds. Gurudev was again and again telling today class that try to do 64 rounds. It is best if you can do that much. And if you do planning of time and everything, I think you can do it. You can adjust your time like that. So this was Gurudev's instruction. He always wants us to increase our japa. He said, no anarthas will touch you if you are always absorbed in chanting the holy name. But food, he was trying to tell that don't eat opulent food. Because one brahmachari, Gurudev told a story that he was living in Radha Govinda temple. He was disciple of Maman Goswami Maharaj. And that brahmachari was every day taking Mahaprasad from Radha Govinda temple. And as you know, that Radha Govinda Mahaprasad is very, very opulent. So after some time, he just brahmachari wanted to give up saffron cloth and wanted to immediately get married. Because his senses could not be controlled. So then he came to Gurudev and then Gurudev told him that 7 days don't eat anything. And just chant holy name and don't even take water. But after 1 or 2 days, Gurudev allowed him to take water. And he was all day long chanting, doing Vrindavan Parikrama, but not eating anything. So in this way, he almost fasted for 7 days. After that, he said, now I don't feel like getting married. Now lust has vanished. Then Gurudev said that yes, heavy food will make you very lusty. So then Gurudev said, okay, now you start eating, but don't eat too much spicy, too much salt, this, that, and what heavy, lot of ghee, no. Take very simple prasad or your senses will be agitated. Understand? So we are very careful that we don't take very opulent foodstuffs. Many times too much opulent foodstuffs not good for bhakti because we may fall down. So those who want to do Harinam must eat frugally, eat less. And not eat from the hands of non-devotees. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Ram. Hare Ram. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you. Dandavat pranams.
Dandavat. This is
Ananga Mohan.
Chaturmasya basically is actually the time of not doing any fruitive activities. Instead of doing any fruitive activities, spiritual activities is meant for spiritual activities. And that's why this Chaturmasya has been arranged like that. Eating very less in Chaturmasya, once a day if possible, otherwise you can eat twice also. But eating not any objects of sense gratification, try to eat very, very simple foodstuffs. Lot of things are prohibited because they excite the senses. A lot of devotees 2 months of Chaturmasya don't shave, and they don't, so a lot of restrictions are there in Chaturmasya. Many people sleep on the ground or on a mat, chant 64 rounds like this. So Chaturmasya is the best period for doing bhajan. In India, there is profuse rain during Chaturmasya. Now rain has begun everywhere. So very difficult to go here and there, and don't venture to the fields, farms, because if you go to the open fields, the forest area, then there are some trees which are fructifying. You may step on them and cut their sprouts, and that's why there is restriction in Chaturmasya to wander too much in the forest. At least in the first month of Chaturmasya, when the seeds are, germinating. Otherwise, how can the vegetation increase? How can the forest area develop? Hare, thank you. Hare, well. All right. Hare, Anangman Prabhu? Hare.
Hare Krishna and Maharaj. Shishya Guru Gauranga Gandarika Giridhari Radha Vinod Bihari Ji ki Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vishnu Daivata Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnu Pada Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Dandi Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishnu Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravishnu Vishnu Pada Stotra Srimad Bhakti-Vidanta Vaman Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Parasthata Shishimat Bhakti-Vidanta Swami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Parasthata Shishimat Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishtam Vishnu Parasthata Shisila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Parama Bhagavad Prabhara Shisila Gauri Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Shri Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur ki Jai. Nitya Pravishta Vaishnava Sarva Bhoma Shri Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj ki Jai. Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Shri Srila Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu ki Jai. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur ki Jai. Srila Narottam Srinivas Chandra Prabhu Traya ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhata Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhat Das Raghunath Sargu Prabhu ki Jai. Shri Swarup Damodaya Rai Raman Dadi Shri Gaura Prasad Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Sakaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Antadvip Mayapur Simantdvip Yodhindvip Madhyadvip Koladvip Ritudvip Janudvip Modadundvip Rudadvip Patmakashi Navadvip Dham ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopi Godan Dvadash Vanatmaka Shri Vajamandal ki Jai. Shri Radhakund Shamakund Ganga Yamuna Tulasi Bhakti Devi ki Jai. Srimati Vrinda Devi ki Jai. Shri Purnamasi Yogamaye ki Jai. Shri Gopishwar Mahadev ki Jai. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Sudarshan Chakra Ji ki Jai. Shri Kshetra Mandal ki Jai. Sarva Vigna Vinashikari Shri Nrsimhadev ki Jai. Bhakta Pravar Shri Prahalad Maharaj ki Jai. Char Dham ki Jai. Char Sampradaya ki Jai. Char Acharya ki Jai. Akar Mat Raj Shri Chaitanya Mat ki Jai. Shri Shri Keshaviji Gauriya Mat Ota Tata Mat Samoha ki Jai. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Caritamrta ki Jai. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Samagat Bhakta Vrinda ki Jai. Shri Nitai Gaura Premanand Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Anangman Prabhu ki Jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Didi. Thank you for this.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ananga Mohan Prabhu. Thank you, dear devotees, for joining today. Vansha Kalpa Turibhyastya Kripa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavinabhyo Vaishnavibhi Namo Vaishnavibhi.
When is the next class?
Sunday, Maharaj, Bhagavad Gita.
Bhagavad Gita. Okay, so tomorrow is holiday for you. Okay, thank you.
No, tomorrow Gurudev comes. Tomorrow Saturday.
Okay, very good, very good, very good. So
yes.
Tomorrow is I can. Thank you. Hare.
Okay, thank you, Maharaj. Hare Krishna. Dana.